Dr. Berg, we agree on a ton of content, but this advice is dangerous.
When you do dry fasting, not only are you not eating food, but you're not drinking water. So that is a topic I want to touch on and just explain something that's actually quite fascinating. And you may want to consider doing a short dry fast. One of the biggest benefits of fasting is something called autophagy. Autophagy is a condition where your body is recycling damaged proteins, okay? And
Autophagy should motivate all of us to have time-restricted eating. As that understanding became more and more our language, that yes, our body does have a mechanism to undo the trash hanging out around our body. And the right way to do that, well, it is not dry fasting.
about 8 to 10% of the water that you get is produced by your own cells in the mitochondria. As the last step of the mitochondria, if you're burning fat, you're changing that fat into water and oxygen. Roughly about 8 to 10% of the water in your body is produced within your body. It's called endogenous water production or metabolic.
Okay, 8 to 10% of your water is produced by your own cells. Where is that? That is when you are in a state of ketosis. So when you tell people, especially those who are trying to lose weight, almost all of them are insulin resistant. To get to the place where they are in ketosis and they're burning that fat-based calorie, whether it's triglycerides or ketones, water production that comes in a state of ketosis is reproducible. It's how camels work. It's how kangaroos work. It's how anybody or any mammal that stores fat in their tail or body can go long periods of time without water. To push patients and say, dry fast and you will get this respiration, this water production, that is not true.
One of the big benefits of your body making this water is you get this internal water flushing from the inside out. So you enhance the detoxification process.
All right, he talks about enhancing the detoxification by making the endogenous water. But that happens whenever the kidney is able to move those toxins, to move that electrolyte, to move that waste from circulation to urine or from circulation into the bile and out the stools. The production of water isn't the best way to do that. The consumption of water while in a state of ketosis is a much better answer. Dry fasting does not guarantee.
But if you're drinking all this water, the body never gets a chance to produce this metabolic water. This is why when you do a water fast, okay, you don't get the benefits from a dry fast.
Okay, that's not true. He's saying when you do a water fast, you don't get the benefits as you do from a dry fast. First of all, the production of that water is a direct response of burning fat. And I have patient after patient to show you that a high ketone, low glucose is that state of persistent ketosis, and it does really wring out the water. They do have a very low inflammatory rate when they're in a water fast after being in a state of ketosis for days or weeks or months. They do not need a dry fast to get that. In fact, I would never recommend that.
Because you're actually drinking water, and that water inhibits the production of your own body's water. So,
okay, no, the water does not inhibit the production of the endogenous water. The endogenous water comes from the use of fat as energy, that's great. That's what we want you to do. That is a high ketone, low inflammatory, really strong metabolic burst. But it is not inhibited by water. It's stimulated by a decrease in insulin, which is lower glucose, and then a stimulus to use fat as the source of your energy. You don't produce the water because your body's low on water. You produce the water because you're burning fat as energy.
So let me just kind of summarize the benefits in a little bit more detail for you. Number one, dry fasting can help remove intracellular toxicity more than water fasting.
Dry fasting versus water fasting for intracellular toxicity. I mean, he's saying autophagy, We know that autophagy is stimulated by a drop in insulin and a rise in ketones. That is probably the best biomarkers we have today for measuring autophagy. You should be sure to hydrate and replace electrolytes as you do that, especially if you're starting from a standard American diet. What? There is not evidence that a mitochondrial turnover, mitophagy, is better in a dry fast versus a water fast. And the risks during a dry fast far outweigh any benefits. Overwatering plants and overwatering people. So there is a setting where you can drink too much water. That is not the same as drinking water during a fast. The consumption of water during a fast actually helps you mobilize those toxins he's talking about, which is a result of autophagy. You are trying to get rid of some of that waste.
And so if we inhibit the production of water at certain parts of the day,
inhibit water consumption for a few hours a day, that is not a dry fast. A dry fast is like no fluid for 36 hours. You should never do that.
what about the coffee in the morning? Well, you could actually take a green coffee extract. Okay, it has caffeine in it. So you get the benefits of the caffeine, so you don't have withdrawals from your coffee, yet you're not drinking the fluid of that coffee. So you get the feeling of coffee, but without the fluid.
So that last comment where he talked about caffeine while dry fasting, well, it's a diuretic, so it's even more removal of water. But I'm not going to say anything negative about caffeine because I love it. And I will say that Eric Berg has done a ton of great education for this space of how much the food you eat does improve your health. So I'll give a shout out and say, thanks, Eric. Great job on most videos, just not this one.